With him is Rocky Laurie. And here now is the roar to welcome tonight's underdogs, Western Suburbs, with Tommy Rodonicus as captain. Is the hooker John Purcell and John Dorahy in the background, receiving that pass from Purcell as they limber up. So now let's take a look at the team rundowns for Eastern Suburbs. Their team in its entirety is Fairfax at fullback, Schubert and Pickett on the wings, Harris and Terry Murphy in the centres. Hastings is at half, Fulton to 5'8". The lock is Laurie, the second row Riley and Beatson. The front row is Mossman and Medcalf, and the hooker is Malcolm Connor. For Western Suburbs, it's fullback Dorahy. Wingers are Gitto and Scar. The centres are Gavin Miller and Ken Hay. The 5'8" Peter Rolls, the half and captain Tom Rodonicus. The lock is O'Grady. The second row Foster and Blythe. Front row Donnelly and Hundy, and the hooker is John Purcell. So there you have the two teams to do battle in the 1977 Amco Cup final. The action in just a moment. Now for referee Gary Cook to take centre field to call time on. The points of an incredible number of players in contention here tonight for the 77 Singapore Airlines Superstar Award are about to come on your screen. And remember that the rules are that the player to be in contention must come from the two teams in the cup final. There they are on screen, with Fairfax on 5, with Hastings, Harris and Schubert on 3, with Beatson and Laurie on 2. For the Magpies, O'Grady on 4, Dorahy and Rodonicus on 3, and Foster on 2. Any one of these players could get enough points to win tonight, and in the event of a tie, there are countback rules that will apply. And so now for the kickoff to the 77 Amco Cup final, brought to you through the O10 network by Amco, Australia's largest jeans manufacturer and the makers of Bogarts. And so Dorahy kicks off to start this 77 Cup final. Fairfax in possession. Schubert. Riley. Fairfax to clear. This torpedo punt looks good. It might be a fraction too big. It is. Scrum to go down about 12 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. So referee Cook giving strict instructions to both front rows for the first scrum of the match.
And what an important scrum to start off the game too, Ray.
Right in front of the Eastern Suburbs goalmouth, guarding the grandstand end. It's won by the Magpies. It's with Dorahy. Dorahy looking to split them, but Fairfax with a try-saving tackle. Inches from the line. From Scar, it goes across through Rodonicus and onto the lock forward O'Grady. And he's tackled about 10 metres out. The Magpies on the attack in the opening seconds. Donnelly bumping off one. So John Purcell's a dummy half as Donnelly gets to his feet very slowly. Rodonicus rolls, coming up quickly. Harris stepping nicely. Miller to Hay, and he almost got that pass away, and it would have been a handful for Bobby Fulton, who was the only man back. Stephen Blythe, number 10, within 8 metres of the line. There's a West player down injured. It's Ken Hay, number 4. Last tackle coming up for Western Suburbs. Dorahy is the player to watch. He hasn't got the ball, but Donnelly has, and Donnelly goes surging for the line, 2 metres out. And another scrum to go down in a very dangerous zone for Eastern Suburbs.
And young Ken Hay looks very groggy out there at the moment. He was hitting a pile-driving tackle just as he left the ball left his hands. But I like the way that young Miller stepped inside Mark Harris, who was moving up very quickly.
Western Suburbs winning the second scrum of the game, and it's Dorahy again getting it back to Rodonicus, but it's a penalty to West. That's holding against Eastern Suburbs, the Western Suburbs captain off the ball, and a penalty on a bit of an angle, 10 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. Dorahy, the goal kicker for Western Suburbs.
Important kick, Johnny, in a match like this.
Very key. He's got to be very cool and calm, collected on this one.
So there's a shot of John Dorahy now as he builds this mound to try and put the first 2 points on the board in this $100,000 gala night of rugby league. He's chosen to bring it back 20 metres, and he's a similar distance in from touch on the scoreboard side. So Dorahy now chosen as the #1 kicker in front of Peter Rolls and Ron Gitto. Has this added responsibility on his shoulders tonight. But as the nickname implies, Joe Cool, he's very hard to ruffle as he moves in now to try and raise the flags, and he's missed it. To the quarter line now for the non-optional restart by the Roosters, and Harris is not wasting time. Gavin Miller, the baby of the Western Suburbs side, joined them this year from Goulburn. Gitto now. Scuffle up between Foster and Schubert. Rodonicus calls for it. Blythe now. Bunny Riley over the top with Malcolm Connor. Gary Metcalf down below. A three-man tackle. Hundy. Rodonicus. Foster. Fulton coming across in defence. Foster to play at about 28 metres out. Rodonicus on the inside to Hundy. And that's the end of the tackle count, and the Eastern Suburbs still to win a scrum. 2 decided, both going to Western Suburbs.
Western Suburbs are going to be paying particular attention to their handling in this opening 15 minutes or so. They're not going to allow Eastern Suburbs any chance to get possession from loose passes. Rodonicus really has them fired up for this opening.
So Western Suburbs win the third decided scrum of the game. Dorahy. Rolls. Hay. And a nice tackle there by Robert Laurie. Donnelly. Purcell. Play on the scoreboard side, just inside the Eastern Suburbs quarter line. Rodonicus now, the run round to O'Grady. Blythe looking for Foster, but couldn't get the pass away. Last tackle again for Western Suburbs. Now, here's Dorahy, and there goes the bomb. Fairfax is back there. Dorahy's been felled. They fly for it. I think it could be a try. No try rule by referee Cook. Touch judge has come in now. This could be to make a report about Dorahy. He got the bomb in, but as I called it to you, I had the feeling it may have been a bit late. Now Beatson and Cook with the touch judge in what appears to be a heated discussion.
Yes, Beatson not too happy about the referee or the touch judge coming in there. It's a free kick to Western Suburbs. But I think Arthur Beatson was sitting on a caution there, because the way he came in to question the linesman coming in and also to argue with the referee. I thought I saw Gary Cook point to the dressing room, Johnny.
Yes, it looked as though he did get a severe reprimand. West have always done well against East, Keith, and today looks as though to be no exception.
No, and the early indication is, of course, that they could dominate possession with Purcell winning each of the first 3 scrums, and Eastern Suburbs haven't touched the ball as yet, and the game's been going for 6 minutes. It's been all Western Suburbs in these early stages, and the Eastern Suburbs defence been subjected to a lot of pressure.
So John Dorahy now to attempt his second penalty shot, failing with the first a few minutes back, but this is a much simpler kick for him. He's only 11 metres out, and he'd only be about 7 metres to the right of the uprights as we look at them. He should nearly land this one in the members' stand. So close is he to the uprights. Dorahy looking anxiously for the 2 points to open the scoring for both sides, and he's kicked it. Dorahy has landed it The opening 2 points in the Amco Cup 77 final, and West lead East by 2 points to 0.
And that's certainly a tremendous lift to their spirits, Johnny, at this stage of the game.
Oh yes, I can see West coming really back and firing. Unless East get right into this game now, I think they might have some problems for the next 10 minutes.
So the first score coming after 8 minutes of the first quarter. Fulton restarting. Dorahy now to run it out. Beating Harris, churning his way through defenders. Terry Murphy made the tackle. Rodonicus to Donnelly. And this big prop forward commanding a lot of respect from Eastern Suburbs, and Beatson was there to throw him to the ground. Rodonicus, Hundy. Peter rolls now, shooting for touch. Doesn't look too bad if it rolls end on end. It's beaten Ian Schubert. Rolls has found touch, a metre from the quarter line.
A very fine kick by Rolls there. Driving played deep into Eastern Suburbs territory again, and another scrum. If Wests continue to dominate possession and win this one, we've been going for 10 minutes and East still haven't had the ball. 4
scrums to Western Suburbs. Rodonicus working the run round with Rolls, and Rodonicus to play it now. Centre field, 5 metres from the quarter. Dorahy, Rolls, Miller. Hundy. Donnelly on the inside. Now Purcell, he's gone without it. Picked up by Rodonicus. That's Miller now, number 3. There's an overlap. Hey, turning it inside to Scar. And he's felled in a beautiful tackle on the far side by Fairfax. Stephen Blythe to dummy half. Rolls, O'Grady. Leading the superstar points for the Western Suburbs side, and he knows he's been tackled. Dorahy. Through Hundy. Gavin Miller. It's gone to Trevor Scar again, and he's brought down inches short. Last tackle coming up for Wests. Dorahy. Cross kick bomb. Beautiful kick, really under pressure. Fulton's got the ball. And it's Eastern Suburbs with the pressure off. Fulton must have been very close there to being offside. So it's Beatson now, as Easts virtually feel the ball in attack for the first time. 10 minutes into the game. Mid-cuff. Fairfax. Giddo falling back for it. Schubert the tackler. Hay. Rodonicus rolls. Donnelly out wide. Hundy. Bruce Pickett has it for Eastern Suburbs inside the 30-metre point. Mid-cuff. Western Suburbs 2, Eastern Suburbs no score. 8 minutes of the first quarter remaining. Beatson. Fairfax. Mark Harris. Winding himself up now towards the halfway. Foster the tackler. Riley, Hastings now. Beatson. Running very strongly for Eastern Suburbs is Mossman. Now Terry Murphy. Fulton. Last tackle coming up for Eastern Suburbs. Just outside the quarter line. Fairfax. And now it's John Dorahy's turn to be pressured, and he's right next to the uprights, takes it safely. But it's a penalty to Eastern Suburbs. Fairfax has been felled late. Fairfax groggily getting to his feet.
Yes, well, I don't think there was too many problems in relation to that. Foster came in just after Fairfax had kicked the ball, continued on his tackle, and this should certainly level up the scores. Eastern Suburbs looking good with the ball then, John.
They were. Western Suburbs have really got to get some of their players out wider and spot some of these fellas out there. Otherwise, they're going to have trouble all evening.
I think East could be in a few problems too, with West continuing to move the ball out a little bit wide. I noticed that Mark Harris has been moving up very quickly in defence to try and catch young Miller with the ball, and he's slipped him on 2 occasions now, and given Scar runs down that left-hand touchline.
But as always, the cover is so good.
Yes, it was.
So Russell Fairfax has a very simple shot to level the situation. Number 1 goal kicker for tonight, with Kevin Stevens having to withdraw from the Eastern Suburbs side. And Fairfax should equalise at 2-2. There's his kick, and he's kicked it. It's 2 points all in the Amco Cup final now. Russell Fairfax Dorahy now to restart the play for Western Suburbs. And there it goes. It's going to be probably difficult to take, but Hastings giving it all the time. Bunny Riley. Fairfax. Given plenty of time to shoot for touch, and it's off. No, he's ruled it out. The touch judge has ruled it's gone out, and so the scrum to go down just inside the Eastern Suburbs quarter line.
It's a hairline decision, wasn't it? From here, it looked as if the ball bounced on the line. Of course, that is out. But Fairfax, a complete footballer, kicks equally well with right or left foot, and on that occasion, he used his right foot and was very unlucky.
Eastern Suburbs winning their first scrum. It's with Fulton. Beatson. Metcalf going to ground, and the tackle count has been restarted by referee Cook. Beatson. Blythe and Rodonicus putting the big man to ground. Fulton with Malcolm Connor. Schubert. Donnelly's got it for Western Suburbs. Just outside the quarter line. O'Grady. Dorahy's coming up on his left. Rolls. Foster. Heavy body clash there between Foster and Fulton. Now it's Hundy. Western Suburbs working it just inside the quarter line. Dorahy's with the ball. Eastern Suburbs have it. Hastings. Michael Mossman. Beatson. Fulton. Terry Murphy. Good tackle by Peter Rolls there. Connor. Fulton. Metcalf. Beatson getting it away to Hastings, then to Terry Murphy. Has Schubert with him. Schubert on a big run. Down the left flank has Dorahy to beat. That's the only defender. Beautifully infield there to Laurie, and Laurie's taken there by O'Grady.
Well, East were certainly entitled to score on that occasion, Johnny, weren't they? Schubert got cleared on that left-hand flank with only Dorahy. No cover defence, and 2 Eastern Suburbs players in support. And how the Western Suburbs defence got across, or got back in time to save a dangerous situation, it's hard to fathom out from here. But this has been synonymous with East performances in recent weeks. They've squandered a lot of try-scoring opportunities, even though the pass didn't go astray on that occasion.
Yes, I think it was Bit of bad Western Suburbs back play there, bad positional play.
So the penalty to Eastern Suburbs is against feet across the scrum, and Fairfax has opted to take the kick for goal on the quarter line, 10 metres in from touch. There's a shot of how Russell Fairfax sees this kick.
Tackling's been very hard, Keith.
Ooh, very rugged, hasn't it?
There's a lot of finger wagging going on after tackles.
Fairfax leads the players on the field, and our superstar must come from the 26 players out there to win the Singapore Superstar for 77, and he on 5 points leads the series at the moment. Here's the kick. It looks as though it's good, is it? It's hit the upright and bounced down to Dorohee. Rodonicus. Hundy. Fairfax back for the rolls kick. Fairfax now taking it to the halfway. Schubert. 2 points all and 1 minute away from quarter time. Beatson. Mossman. Metcalf. Beatson again. Hastings. Through Fairfax. It's with Laurie. Metcalf on the inside. That's him. Fulton. Ten seconds now from quarter time. Last tackle for Eastern Suburbs with Beatson. Flick pass to Fairfax. Dorohee scooping it up brilliantly there. O'Grady. There's the quarter time siren. And at quarter time in the 77 final, it's 2 points all. So it's John Dorohee now to restart the second quarter of this $60,000 to the winner anyway final of the Amco Cup, and a jolting tackle gets possession off Eastern Suburbs, and it's a knock-on ruled, and another scrum to go down on the Eastern Suburbs quarter line. At half-time we'll be screening the 6 1977 Golden Try finalists in their correct order, as voted of course by the press writers of Sydney and Brisbane, and talking to John Gray about tension down on the field in an Amco Cup final as Western Suburbs get a penalty within kicking distance. John, of course, was down there last year when North Sydney did battle with Balmain, and we'll be talking to John at half-time about how it feels to be out there on Cup final night. And, of course, at that time, Keith Barnes will be in the dressing rooms, and he'll be back with us prior to the kick-off to the second half to relay back to us what the coaches have been saying in the dressing room. So keep in tune at half-time for the replay in their correct order of the 6 golden tries. In fact, you people at home will know before the winner of the golden try that in fact he's won it. His first knowledge of winning this $15,000 package from Volvo will become known to him only at the ground stage announcements at the end of the match. So Dorohee now looking for another vital 2 points. At the moment, 2 points all for viewers just joining us on the O10 network here in Australia and through TV2 in New Zealand. Dorohee now strikes it, and he's missed it again. That's his third attempt. He's been successful with only one, and the 2 that he has missed haven't been all that difficult, I'd suggest to you, John Gray.
No, I was in the same position last year though, Ray, and missed a couple myself early on, so I know what it feels like.
Gavin Miller into touch on the far side.
No, I felt that was an important kick, that one. It would have been a great start to the second quarter for them, give them that little bit of a lift that they might need it at the moment, but it was a very important kick, created of course by a great tackle on Schubert, which jolted the ball from his hands.
Western Suburbs winning another scrum. Dorahy. Scrums 5-2 to Western Suburbs. Donnelly. And now Rodonicus. Rolls has gone without it. Scooped up by Hastings for Eastern Suburbs. Given to Pickett. He's lost it. Foster has it for West. He's got plenty of pace. Metcalf in pursuit. Mossman across. Rolls has it on the infield now. And he's also lost it. Fluctuating football. Schubert and Laurie now handling. Beatson. Schubert. Schubert through. Purcell's tackle, a good one. Hastings. Beatson. Fairfax. Quickly to Connor, then to Mossman. Bunny Riley. Beatson. Harris. Peter Rolls has pulled off some magnificent tackles in the opening 25 minutes of this cup final. Fulton. O'Grady with quick hands to Ghetto. Ghetto on a run down the right flank. Miller to dummy half now. O'Grady. Hundy. O'Grady again. Donnelly. Rodonicus. Rolls. Kevin Hastings has been receiving attention in the back play. Miller. Last tackle coming up for Western Suburbs now. Dorahy. Rodonicus. And Rodonicus is knocked on.
Yes, I think Tommy had the ball up in the air then before he had it in his hands, Johnny.
I was going to kick it.
Yes, it was certainly on, wasn't it? But I give Hastings a lot of credit there. He was injured in the background that we just commented on. It was a great covering tackle there when he picked up Gitto, who looked as if he was in the clear and on the way to the line.
Dorahy in possession now. O'Grady. Just outside the quarter line. Rodonicus. Blythe on his left. There's Blythe now, number 10. Rodonicus. Rolls. Foster. Dorahy. Going infield is Gitto. Gitto's got the ball now for Western Suburbs. Western Suburbs now 10 metres away from the Eastern Suburbs line. 2 points all. Purcell running one way and then back to Foster. Foster dives, but he's short. Last tackle coming up for Western Suburbs. Rodonicus will go to dummy half. Could go himself. It's a penalty to Wests. East offside in the play the ball. Rodonicus was looking to take a quick tap penalty. And now his fullback John Dorahy is going to take the kick for goal.
These quarters certainly suit West. I think they've taken a lot of the sting out of Eastern Suburbs at the moment. Going very well themselves.
Yes, they are. Certainly they're being helped, of course, by this scrum domination. They're playing with the ball all the time, and it's very difficult to, in East situation, they'll have to attack, of course, although their defence looks pretty good at the moment, although they've been subjected to a lot of pressure, and we saw Foster just tackle short of the line. It would have probably been a calculated gamble as far as Tommy Rodonicus was concerned there if he'd had the opportunity to take that little tap penalty. But I think probably the way it's worked out is just as well. Important kick for Dorahy, though, because he hasn't, like 1 out of 3, and 3 of them kickable. This is a very important kick. It'll do his confidence, and also the the spirits of his teammates a lot of good if he's able to land this one. 26 minutes into the game, 2 points each.
He has two very fine deputies in Peter Rolls and Ron Gitto, of course, waiting in the wings to take over the goal-kicking duties, should his captain feel that way. Here's Dorahy, and he's kicked this straight over the black dot to send Western Suburbs to a 4 points to 2 lead after 7 minutes of the second quarter of the 77 final.
I'll be surprised if East don't come back very strongly now. I'd say Arthur Beetson's starting to get a little bit worried about their failure to win possession from the scrums, Johnny.
So it must be a concerted push or even perhaps a change for East at the moment.
So Dorahy, he's played a big part so far.
Running with a lot more purpose than he did against Canterbury in last week's encounter.
Donnelly. So it's Rodonicus to Blythe. Now Pat Hundy on the left calls for it, but he's cut out as it goes to Rolls, and then Miller. And this time it's Terry Murphy that makes the tackle. Rolls. Hastings and Beetson could clash here. Beetson with the ball. Laurie just inside Western Suburbs territory, is it? No, it's Terry Murphy. They look very similar if you can't pick up their numbers, Murphy and Laurie. Riley, Fulton, Harris. That's when you've got to get him before he starts to really work up the power. Hastings. Donnelly down below and Blythe over the top. Laurie, number 8, a dummy half. Beetson calls for it, he's got it. Metcalf's on his inside. Goes to Fairfax. Good pass by Fairfax to Mossman. It's with Connor. Flick pass to Pickett. Last tackle for Eastern Suburbs now. Fulton's calling for it at 5'8". That's Fulton. And finding touch. Midway between quarter and halfway on the Western Suburbs end of the field, right in front of the embankment to the left of the scoreboard, which is virtually packed to capacity.
Must be one of the few scrums in Western Suburbs half.
He's winning it on Fulton with a weaving run.
It certainly vindicated Fulton's decision to kick for the line on the 6th tackle, Johnny, didn't it?
Did good.
Riley, Beetson, Harris to the right. Well taken by Rodonicus. Rodonicus limping back to his position. Metcalf, Beetson, Riley. East looking very dangerous at the moment. Down 4 points to 2. Beetson now thrusting it deep inside the quarter line. Chancing the pass, scooped away by Riley. But a knock-on has been ordered by referee Gary Cook for the scrum to go down.
He's getting involved at the moment, is Arthur, isn't he?
Yes, well, he has to, because he's the only real driving force in that pack out there at the moment. The Western Suburbs side compare very favourably with Eastern Suburbs in this area, don't they?
He's winning another very vital scrum, and this is Rocky Laurie. Hastings, Riley. Can Western Suburbs turn them back again, the Roosters? Beetson calling for it. Swarming over the top of Artie Beetson.
And Fairfax really driving in there, looking for the pass.
Now it's Metcalf. Wide pass to Laurie. But Donnelly's over the top there of the lock forward. Now it's Hastings. Mossman. Harris on his left. Last tackle for East. It's Fulton. Dorahy now under pressure again. Oh, complete disorganisation through the Western Suburbs ranks there. Line drop out to restart.
That was certainly a break for them, wasn't it? 3 of them around it, and they all stood waiting for each other to catch it, and the ball bounced in the in-goal area.
I think they're anticipating the ball bouncing over the line so they could get the tap from the 25.
I don't think you can anticipate in a situation like that.
No, never know what the ball's going to do.
So Peter Rolls kicks it out to Fairfax. Schubert to the 30-metre line now, and beyond to the quarter. Beatson. Fulton's lurking around behind Beatson. It's with Metcalf. Now with Laurie. Gone to corner. Out with Pickett. Pickett's got his wing of the beat. Can't beat Scar. Across field through Riley. Hastings. Now Schubert. Eastern Suburbs throwing everything at this Western Suburbs defence now. Fulton. Metcalf. Fulton again. Tackle count resumes. So Western Suburbs are going to hold out for 12 tackles if they're to be successful. It's Schubert. Flung to the ground by the Western Suburbs defence of Rodonicus and Hay. 4-2 Western Suburbs lead. Mossman. Metcalf. Western Suburbs with the ball. Donnelly. Hundy. Six minutes of the second quarter remaining. Dorahy says, let's get out of here. It looks good. Fairfax is there, though. Terry Murphy. Bootlace tackle by Purcell. Dorahy's injured in the back play. There he is. Metcalf. Bunny Riley tracking him. Riley to dummy half now.
Grady should be covering the little kick through here with Dorahy injured.
Terry Murphy. Dorahy getting to his feet now. Beats on now. Laurie. Fulton. There's the bomb. Dorahy's not there. And it's Bunny Riley with the ball. Now with Terry Murphy, this will be a try. And he got it down. No try ruled by Gary Cook. Let's watch it on the disc. Well, that was good thinking by Bobby Fulton with Dorahy virtually out of the play. West were at 6s and 7s. Gitto was one player there, Rolls the other, but then Bunny Riley came down with it.
Slipped the ball very cleverly too, didn't he?
Oh, didn't he ever? And then a tackle by Gavin Miller, and Terry Murphy has put it down short, and then losing it.
That's right.
Well, that disc has certainly proved, I think, beyond any doubt, that was no try. So Western Suburbs turning, Eastern Suburbs are back there. And a costly error by Ian Schubert. The ball propelling forward. I wouldn't like to venture a guess at how many tackles Eastern Suburbs had inside the Western Suburbs 30-metre zone in that last 6-minute exchange.
No, but there was certainly some great sustained attack by Eastern Suburbs.
It could be a chance that Dorahy will come from the field. He's limping on his right leg on the right wing at the moment. Gitto has fallen back to fullback. It'll be a shame if Dorahy has to come from the field, but he is in a very groggy state on that right leg at the moment. 4 minutes to half-time. Dorahy indicating to Holman that he can't continue. Donnelly now. Rodonicus through O'Grady. There's an overlap if they can use it. Rolls now. Taken nicely. Hundy now, thrusting to the quarter line. It's Dorahy's hip area that's the problem as Rodonicus gives it to Foster. Dived on by Blythe, but it's a penalty to Easts. Blythe was offside. I think some of the Western Suburbs supporters felt that Foster was held back after getting the grub kick away. There's Dorahy now, limping back to that right wing, and I think Coach Holman would be thinking with only 2.5 minutes to go to half-time, he'll use up that 2.5 minutes and see if they can bring Dorahy back for that second half. So it's Giteau to full-back and Dorahy to the right flank. Second ball on the field, that's the interruption. Beatson, Harris coming from a long way back. With little Tommy Raudonikis and Peter Rolls there making the tackle. Laurie, Beatson, Schubert. Beatson again. Picked up by Fulton, but it went forward.
I've got a feeling, though, that East are starting to get a little bit more yardage to put their plays into action.
That's right. As soon as they get the scrums in Western Suburbs half, they've got a much better chance of getting the ball and are using it much better when they are getting it now.
So it's Raudonikis away from the scrum base. Giteau. Jolting tackle by Beatson. Donnelly. 60 seconds from half-time. Purcell. Raudonikis, Rolls, O'Grady, cutting out Hay, picked up by Scar, and nicely too. Pick up the tackler. O'Grady calling players across in support. Rolls, Foster. And so the scrum to pack down on the 30-metre point on the scoreboard side. Eastern Suburbs territory. Giteau. Raudonikis to Ruckhoff. Rolls. Hay. Riley and Hastings making that tackle. Rolls again. Gavin Miller. Standing on top of one another there, though.
Very bunched, weren't they?
They still are, actually, Keith.
Now it's Hundy. They've only got 5 or 6 seconds now to do something before the siren sounds. Raudonikis and Hastings meets him head on.
Must be a kick now, Keith.
There's got to be a kick. It's gone to O'Grady. The siren sounds. The bomb is in the air. Peter Rolls is chasing. Fairfax is under it. And Fairfax has taken it well in the in-goal area to Schubert now. And that's the end of the first half, with Western Suburbs leading Eastern Suburbs in a tryless 40-minute period of the Amco Cup. Final for 77 by 4 points to 2. So the players coming back onto the field now for the second half of the Amco Cup, and back with us from the dressing rooms, Keith Barnes.
Yes, well, there's plenty of drama in the Western Suburbs dressing room. Of course, Keith Holman is going to stick to his pre-match plan of controlling the ball and controlling the game. He wants them to hit harder in defence. But the big drama, of course, is the news that John Dorahy will not be coming back onto the field for the second half. And the Western Suburbs side has undergone a drastic change. Graham O'Grady moves from lock to back out to 5/8. Giteau, the winger, moves back to fullback. Tommy Raudonikis moves into the lock forward position from the halfback spot. Peter Rolls moves out onto the wing, and Jeff Smith, the replacement player, comes on as halfback. So that necessitates 5 changes just for Dorahy coming off. But I think it's a calculated gamble by Keith Holman, realising the desperateness of the situation. As far as the Eastern Suburbs side was concerned, a very professional attitude in there. No panic whatsoever. They're trailing by 4 points to 2. Beatson concerned about the loss of possession in the scrums, emphasising the importance of minimising their mistakes, but still continue to throw the ball around. He felt that they were starting to get on top towards the latter stages of that second quarter, and he feels that providing they can retain possession and keep hammering away, spinning the ball out wide, the gaps are going to eventuate.
So it's Western Suburbs now, just outside their quarter line, leading by 4 points to 2 and kicking to clear there. And might find touch. Fairfax is inches in from touch, and that was a great take by Fairfax to Bruce Pickett, and now it's with Terry Murphy. Western Suburbs 4, Eastern Suburbs 2. It's John Dorahy coming back rugged up just to watch the nerve-wracking final 40 minutes as that ball scooped up by Fulton. A couple of metres into West Territory now. Bunny Riley beats in. Terry Murphy, Purcell the tackler. Pickett. That's the end of 6 for Eastern Suburbs, and so this scrum to pack down a few metres on the western side of halfway. Jeff Smith now, the newly appointed halfback. Fulton, Hastings, prizing for that opening. Riley, Harris, and coming at full speed ahead, and what a difficult man he must be to pull down from a head-on position. Metcalf now. Good football, Metcalf. Through Mossman, it's gone to Laurie. Fulton. Beatson. Harris. Riley. Picked up by Purcell for Western Suburbs. On the surface, it looked like Bunny Riley had done the right thing, but it just didn't quite come off for him. Jeff Smith. Gitto in from fullback. Hundy. Rodonicus. And now Blythe on the 30-metre line. Donnelly, Rodonicus.
A lot of concern in the West dressing room too that Rodonicus' hand might have gone again. You notice that it's very heavily strapped at the moment.
O'Grady now looking for this opening and doing very well. I think it'll be a knock-on. It's a Western Suburbs ball.
He's a bit slow to capitalise on that then. The possession was there.
Usually they're very quick onto it, aren't they?
Another scrum win by Western Suburbs, and Jeff Smith playing in number 15, tackled just on his own side of the halfway. O'Grady. Good cover tackle by Bunny Riley. Rodonicus. Rodonicus and Beatson exchanging words there. Now it's Hundy. Smith. Donnelly. Last tackle for Western Suburbs. They've made 10 metres with 5 tackles. Rodonicus sees an opening, and the gap is being closed by Bunny Riley just outside the Eastern Suburbs quarter line.
And that player certainly closed a few gaps out there this evening, Bunny Riley, getting through a mountainous work in defence.
Very few clean breaks so far, Keith.
Now Gitto on the right flank. Western Suburbs again winning a vital scrum. Jeff Smith, and that's Peter Rolls taken just outside the quarter line as the chant goes out for the Western Suburbs side now. Purcell rolls to dummy half. Smith cuts out Donnelly to Foster. Out to Hay. Chancy past Pickett. Millie was there for the intercept. Rodonicus Foster sweeping it wider to Gitto. Now it's with Stephen Blythe. Rodonicus working the blind, turning it back to Donnelly. And that's the end of 6, and again they've only been able to manage a few metres against this brick-light defence from Eastern Suburbs.
CIG Deodogas is the advanced, economical way of deodorizing air in all industrial and commercial situations. Simple to use, too. CIG Deodogas. From CIG depots everywhere.
Huge crowd there, banking on the scoreboard side. Rodonicus. Rolls calling for it. O'Grady. Gavin Miller. Knocked down by Harris. The tackle count will restart. It does. O'Grady wedging it back inside the quarter line. 6 tackles for the Western Suburbs side. Rolls to Gitto on the burst. Foster, but it's a forward pass. In fact, it was intentional. Offside Foster, and the penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs to relieve the pressure.
Yes, there wasn't too much risk there about that one. Foster definitely a yard forward there. But Western Suburbs still looking good. O'Grady flattened in a heavy tackle by Mark Harris. Got up very quickly to play the ball and spin the ball and keep the attack moving.
So Fairfax finding touch now. A few metres on his own side of the halfway. Incidentally, that rugby league yearbook for 77 put out by Ernie Christensen is out at all grounds and in the bookshops almost immediately as Fairfax makes a run on the left flank for Eastern Suburbs. Schubert. Beatson. Just outside the quarter. Bunny Riley turning it to Harris. Terry Murphy, who's done his job well tonight. Beatson again. Robert Laurie. Mel Connor. And the last tackle coming up for the Roosters now. To the right, and it's with Mossman. Metcalf. And the end of 6 and the scrum to pack a couple of metres inside the quarter line. Yes, that always makes interesting reading, Keith. That 77, or any yearbook put out by Ernie Christensen. It covers the international championships and club and player records. A great publication available right now.
Yes, there's certainly a lot of reading in that book.
Here's Harris now, who's been fairly well contained with some very good tackling by Western Suburbs. Still having a top game. As Laurie plays it back to Hastings now. Beatson now, turning it on the inside to Fulton. Eastern Suburbs realising they're down 4-2, and there's 11 minutes now left in the third quarter. Pickett from dummy half. Laurie. Beatson full speed ahead. Could be hard to hold out. Western Suburbs swarming over the top of Beatson. Last tackle coming up for them. Robert Laurie calling for it on the right. Bobby Fulton calling for it on the left. It's gone to Fulton. The chip over the top. He's caught them napping, I think. Oh! Touch and go decision for Gary Cook. No try. Over the dead ball line. Let's have a look at Ian Schubert's dive for that ball. I'm sure it was Schubert. As Fulton chipped it professionally over the heads of the Western Suburbs players. And then Schubert in full flight. Was it Schubert? Or in fact Terry Murphy, but it was certainly touch and go for referee Gary Cook, who was right on the spot to rule no try.
Well rehearsed, well planned too. You could see Beatson as he got up to play the ball. He took a couple of seconds longer than usual, and I think he instructed Fulton what to do.
So now Fairfax will call on Pickett. Western Suburbs clinging tenaciously to a 4-2 lead as the 75 Cup champions look for their second crown. Laurie now. Getting up slowly. It's gone to Hastings. Metcalf. Laurie sunk to his knees after playing that ball. There's Robert Laurie nursing the hip. Beatson turning it to Mossman. Beatson again, driving up the centre, and Fairfax has it. Fulton. West, I think, thought he would have grub kick for touch. Nicely taken by Scar. Gitto. Donnelly. .29 minutes of the match remaining. Rodonicus to Hundy. O'Grady swinging it to the left to Foster. And so it's the last tackle coming up for Western Suburbs now. Rodonicus back to Jeff Smith, and that's the end of 6. And the scrum to go down just on the Western Suburbs side of halfway.
Very critical period of the game at the moment, Johnny, isn't it? 10 minutes now into the third quarter, and I always feel that the third quarter in a match like this is probably the most important one.
Yes, be decisive, I think, this. You notice West, they haven't really got anybody directing the play for them.
Good tackle by Gitto on Fairfax. Hastings from dummy half. Pickett now, number 5. Metcalf winding up. There he is. Now Mossman.
West sticking to their task particularly well, but I've just got a feeling that that East's starting to get on top.
Fulton. Metcalf again. Laurie. And Rodonica scoops it out quickly. There's a chance here for West. It's with Hay. He's got on his right. It's Peter Rolls, I think. Yes, it's Rolls out on the right flank. Back to Miller.
Cover there again.
Yes, and it was Hastings again. He's doing a lot of work in cover defence. Having a top game this evening.
Kevin Miller with his left leg virtually useless as he gets up, and the penalty goes to West. And let's see, they've got Ron Gitto and Peter Rolls out there. It wouldn't surprise if Rodonica sends Gitto in to kick for goal. Gitto or Rolls. Gitto is the longer kicker of the two, but he's chosen Rolls right in front and 40 metres out. Incidentally, I was talking about Ernie Christensen just a few moments ago. Keith reminds me of another pressman that's moved outside of his normal boundaries. It's Billy Mordy from the Mirror, who's given us good coverage this year. He's moving into politics. He's standing as an independent with the Randwick Ratepayers Association for the Randwick Council elections. I guess that sport's going to get particular emphasis if Bill gets on the Randwick Council.
Yes, I reckon it would, and if he does happen to get on, he'll do a tremendous job too.
Anyway, good luck. To Billy Mordy, and gives me a chance at this stage to thank all the press right throughout the eastern seaboard of New South Wales for their magnificent coverage and support. Now here's Rolls with a kick to make it 6-2. It's got height, it's got length, but offline, and Fairfax to pick it now, to run it out. Harris, and a penalty to Easts. Offside against Wests. In the play the ball. Six minutes of the third quarter remaining.
Well, I suppose one could pose the question, what's the possibilities of Ron Coote making his reappearance tonight, Johnny?
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Beatson. Bunny Riley to dummy half. Hastings, Mossman. And Foster has it for Wests. Donnelly diving on it.
Yes, I think that was a silly pass there. There was no need for it. Harris was well and truly covered, and in the midst of a horde of Western Suburbs players, this is what Beatson wouldn't be very happy about. Mistakes in that particular situation.
Sign of frustration, Keith?
I think it was on that occasion. There was a sign of frustration and possibly a little bit of inexperience as far as Mossman was concerned.
So it's Hundy playing it for the Magpies. Smith, Purcell, the run round, back inside to Blythe. Inside the 5-minute mark, coming to the third quarter. Purcell. Rodonicus to dummy half now. Another heavy clash there between Beatson and Rodonicus as Gary Cook signals the scrum to pack down, and he's had a big game tonight, Gary Cook. Hasn't been an easy one to control. A couple of hairline decisions. As Wests win another scrum, and Smith is tackled by Hastings. Let's get that scrum count, Keith, if we can.
Yes,
going to Giteau.
13-7 and 4-3 in this particular quarter. The penalties 5 each at this stage, but 13 points to 7 is really telling the tale.
So Donnelly now succumbing to the defence on the east quarter line. Smith, Blythe. Oh, bad pass there, and Foster's lost it, but I think a West player has recovered the situation. It was Purcell, and so the knock-on is applied and another scrum to go down.
Pendulum swung again, and a lot of West pressure again now, Keith.
Another scrum to Western Suburbs. They work the blind side to Giteau. He's around Fairfax. Beatson's with him now. Rodonicus shooting it out to O'Grady. Quick hands by Miller. Cutting out Hay. It's gone to Rolls. He stepped round Schubert. Fairfax across in brilliant cover. West now 10 metres from the line. O'Grady to Rodonicus. And this champion little halfback tackled 9 metres from the line. The crowd roaring now as Purcell gets it to Smith. Ducking through a tackle. Dummy half is Foster. To the blind side to Donnelly. Intercepted by Fairfax.
And didn't that relieve some pressure?
Ooh.
It was either the intercept or the try there.
It certainly was. Fairfax took a calculated gamble there and it came off.
Midcalf. Fulton. Kicking to clear and falling back as Trevor Scarr. Bouncing badly for him. Giteau may have to take it. No, Scarr's got it. And a good tackle by Pickett. And the scrum to go down. Bruce Pickett showing quite a deal of elation at that scrum being ruled by referee Cook as Trevor Scarr appealed for the penalty.
Notice both sets of backs are lying very flat on each other.
Penalty to Western Suburbs. That's feet across against the tricolours. Shades of the scrum hiding that John Gray gave Ron Hilditch in a semi-final of the Amco Cup last year. I think from memory, John, it was an 18-6 victory your way.
Don't really remember, Ray. I know we happened to win them that day.
I suggest to you that you're trying to be over-modest. And so the tap to be taken by Foster. Now West are putting a set move up. They've got Donnelly and Hundy guarding Rodonicus. It's with Rodonicus. Blythe. O'Grady. Smith. Reeling it back to Rodonigus. Donnelly. West leading 4-2 and still a trialist cup final. Smith, Foster, cut out, gone to Blythe. Hundy, but Bunny Riley chopping his legs from under him. A shot for field goal by Peter Rolls. That's the kick from last week. It's successful, is it? Yes! Rolls has kicked another field goal. There he is, Peter Rolls, son of Ron Rolls, a former great winger with the Manawaringa club. And he potted that match-winning field goal against Canterbury last Wednesday. He makes the three-quarter time score. West 5, East 2 in the Amco Cup final. Suburbs 3 points down, trailing 5-2, kicking off, running left to right, and Western Suburbs with Stephen Blythe now. Graham O'Grady for Western Suburbs, just outside the quarter. And so it's with Foster, just inside the quarter. With us tonight, down from Queensland, Billy J. Smith, who's covered all the matches in Queensland for us and been our co-commentator on several occasions. How do you see it?
Well, it's a tight one, Raymond. I wouldn't like to go either way, but I'll stick with West, I think.
Okay, so it's Donnelly now, just outside the quarter. Rolls clearing and Fairfax scampering back. Murphy now. Fulton. Des O'Reilly. Bunny Riley is one of the two players off for Eastern Suburbs, as Metcalf has put the ground on his own 30-metre point. Beaton. Tackle count resuming now for Eastern Suburbs. Des O'Reilly. Mossman to dummy half. Beaton calling on Coote. There's Coote up the centre. Donnelly making no mistake with that tackle. Fulton. And a swirling run out on the left side of the field by Terry Murphy. Fulton. Beatson. Metcalf. Western Suburbs leading 5-2 now. Eastern Suburbs taking it towards the quarter line. Fulton. So the scrum to pack just outside the Western Suburbs quarter.
I don't know if you know this, but West have got an added incentive to win this game. If they win, they get a trip to Hawaii provided for them by the club.
I think that would be a long way from their minds at the moment, irrespective of the size of the prize. It's
Eastern Suburbs winning that scrum and Hastings taking it to within 11 metres of the line. They need a try and they need it very quickly. It's with Fulton now. Fairfax. Pickett's got it. He's heading for the corner. Taking him is Gavin Miller, and Pickett fights, resists to stay in touch. And that's how close it was.
Important scrum, this one.
very important, isn't it?
So the scrum packing very close to the west line. I think we better point out at this stage that if Eastern Suburbs do score and the situation remains level at 5-all, they would win the Amco Cup, scoring the most number of tries as they get this penalty, Eastern Suburbs. And now Artie Beetson has a quick conference with Bobby Fulton before Russell Fairfax is given the chance to land the 2-pointer.
Difficult decision for Beetson there. 16 minutes remaining in the game. Fairfax not a recognised kicker, but I think he's given Beetson enough confidence to entrust him with this opportunity.
I think East would have rather have had possession from that scrum than that penalty.
Yes, it'll be up to Fairfax now, of course, to do the right thing and convert this penalty.
So here's Fairfax now, moving up. It looks like it's just wide. Western Suburbs in possession and only just in the field of play. It's a penalty to them. It's against Des O'Reilly. He showed a bit too much enthusiasm in that tackle on Rodonicus.
And that's certainly a let-off as far as...
I thought they were going to take the tap penalty.
I couldn't imagine them taking the tap there. Peter Rolls is a very good kicker of the ball. There's not too many problems about him finding touch.
So Rolls now shooting for touch and finding it about 7 metres inside his own quarter. Trevor Scarr just beyond that point. Now Donnelly, 15 minutes to go. Rodonicus to dummy half. Hundy. West will be aiming to bring it down, and then if they can't break this defensive line and get it into some kind of respectability as far as territory is concerned, they'll be booting it deep into Eastern Suburbs territory. O'Grady now looking for touch with that kick, and it's coming back infield. It's Schubert. O'Grady's put them all onside though. Long pass to Fairfax, and a nice tackle by Rodonicus.
The two skippers are playing a tremendous role out there, Beetson and Rodonicus.
Pickett now trying to weave a gap between the Western Suburbs defence. Metcalf, you know, it's been a top effort by Eastern Suburbs when you consider they had that, well, bone-crushing game on Sunday against Parramatta. Now Schubert, Beetson, and that could be ruled as though it's West ball. Yes, that could be just the break West are looking for. Foster now to the right side. West clinging to a 5-2 lead. Smith. Rodonicus.
Rolls moving into the middle of the field here.
Could be another shot, Keith.
Well, I'd be surprised if it wasn't, actually.
It's with Donnelly. And Peter Rolls is directly behind the man playing the ball, although now he's falling back much deeper. Foster, Gitto, within 10 metres. Purcell going through in vain, looking for that ball. Rolls, O'Grady, he has a shot, he's kicked it! What a magnificent field goal by O'Grady!
Eastern now got to score near the post, haven't they?
That's right. It means a big difference now, of course, because they've got to score, try kick the goal. And any time that you're going to get in this particular situation, I think the same thing's going to apply.
How would you believe this West side with this defence in 2 games had nearly 90 points put on them?
There wasn't $60,000 attached to it, John.
And so Rodonicus comes scampering up to block this ball down, and then he's taken by Mark Harris. Rolls, who was used virtually as a foil there with that field goal by O'Grady. 6-2, and now East need a converted try to win. And they've got 11 minutes to do it in. Donnelly. It's real nail-biting football at the moment, with Gavin Miller and now Ken Hay. Blythe. And this scrum Eastern Suburbs really need.
I really think now that when Eastern Suburbs have got possession, they've got to be careful not to squander it and throwing silly passes trying to get a man away.
Yes, of course, but they're in the situation that the West defence is particularly good, and they've got to take risks. They're in a very difficult situation.
Rodonicus to play it. Gitto. Eastern Suburbs tonight were trying to add this Amco Cup to their early season win in the Wills Cup, and then hopefully the Premiership, and thereby become the only team ever to complete the Grand Slam. And now it's Foster. West leading 6-2, 10 minutes exactly to go. O'Grady. What a magnificent field goal that was. He only had a matter of a split second to set it up and shoot. Rolls getting his kick away, and Pickett inside Purcell, through Hundy, and eventually going to ground under Blythe and O'Grady. Now Beatson, Coote, Harris, and East have got back possession, so the scrum will go down.
I'd be tempted not to kick here in Western Suburbs.
In front of the scoreboard, 8 metres on the Western Suburb side of halfway. Fulton, Fairfax, Harris, Fairfax again. Rodonicus sweating on Fairfax.
They're throwing a blanket over everything that East try at the moment, aren't they?
Very good defence.
Des O'Reilly now, taken by Blythe. Hastings, Metcalf. Foster's tackle was a beauty down low. Fulton, Harris. And Western Suburbs come up with the ball.
Page's lost the ball on a lot of occasions to make Mark Harris.
He was in trying to get it away or having the ball ready to get away, and the tackles have been so effective, it's jarred out of his hand.
And just looking at the superstar points, and Rodonicus is poised there on 3, and I don't think anybody could deny he's had a super game tonight. Smith told to put it in, and it's with Fairfax, and now Terry Murphy. Hastings. Des O'Reilly. Mossman.
Turning it back into the forwards a lot, aren't they, at the moment?
Hastings, Fulton, Coote. Coote knocks on. Harry Cook looking to apply the advantage if West had it. But the scrum to back 10 metres outside the Western Suburbs quarter line.
And only 7 minutes remaining, Ray.
And 6-2 the score in favour of Western Suburbs. It's an Eastern Suburbs scrum win. And Schubert makes the extra man to Fulton, into Harris. Western Suburbs with a 4-point lead, but Eastern Suburbs in possession to Fulton. Beatson. That ball was beautifully taken by Fulton. A bad bounce for Metcalf. Rodonicus leading by example as Mossman now takes it to the quarter line. Cook warning West to get back the 5. It's with Beatson. Nearly intercepted. Mossman now. Connor on the inside to Metcalf, whose legs are taken from under him by Stephen Blythe, who's got through a tremendous amount of work tonight. Fulton sets himself for the bomb. Fairfax is after it. He's danger. And rucked down, and I think it might be knock on, yes, knock on rule by Gary Cook. And what a vital scrum this is for Eastern Suburbs, and for that matter for Western Suburbs as well.
Afraid at the moment it's the only way East look like scoring.
I wouldn't like to see a bomb decide the game this evening.
No.
So it's a penalty to Eastern Suburbs. He's fed with the upward motion, according to Gary Cook. And now Artie Beatson talks to Russell Fairfax.
He's going for the try.
Beatson takes it himself. Fulton, and Cook can't take it. It's with Schubert, but it's gone forward, according to Cook, and the scrum will pack down in the far corner on the grandstand end.
Very difficult to hear the whistle out there.
Yes, you could see the ball go forward though once the pass went astray.
We're inside the last 5 minutes of the Amco Cup final now. Coming to you from Leichhardt Oval in Sydney. And Smith has been recalled out the same tunnel. In again, won by East with Fulton. Fulton steps inside. Fulton beats another. And he's taken 12 metres out. Western Suburbs leading 6-2. 4 minutes to go. Des O'Reilly from ruck half, sliding it back. It's with Hastings. And back now to Mossman. To Harris. Ball has been grabbed by Western Suburbs. Trevor Scarr has it. Rodonicus. What an exciting finish to 21 weeks of football as Purcell comes away in a good run. Under 4 minutes to go. Jeff Smith. Foster to dummy half with Donnelly. Don't forget the replay of Ashcroft and Parramatta Marist after this Amco Cup telecast. And the shot for line taken by Schubert, giving East probably their final chance. Terry Murphy just into West Territory. Fulton, Harris. And Harris takes it 10 metres into West Territory now. The clock showing 3 minutes to go. It's with Beatson. And Fairfax chips over the head. He'll score. Yes, Fairfax has scored a magnificent try. But now he has to convert his own try. And you couldn't wish, I don't think anyway, for a more exciting finish. Watch Fairfax's try. And surely this would have given the Steve Rogers try a run for its money. A perfect chip, and then regathered as it bounced up as though it was on a radar control. And Fairfax brings it to 6-5 with West leading. And Fairfax has this relatively simple kick for goal.
I wouldn't think it'd be simple at this particular stage. Of course, he's up in the clouds after scoring that great try. It's the first time he's projected himself into the attack off that Beatson pass. We saw him come into the play a great deal against Penrith, but that was the first time that he was really given the opportunity. And didn't he grab it with both hands? A magnificent chip over the top, brilliantly gathered in. And it's probably a little bit unfortunate that he didn't think at the time, rather than diving for the line, if he'd have come around to improve his position. But he should be on top of the world, and what an important kick this is.
Russell Fairfax poised now to win the Amco Cup for Eastern Suburbs. A $60,000 kick. 17,500 if he loses. And he's moving in. And he's missed it. That adds up to $42,500. 6-5, the Maggies lead, and the crowd goes mad on the hill. There's Beatson with a show of complete disappointment, and there's Fairfax looking just as bad. So 60 seconds to go. And I took my eyes from the Western Suburbs players. There must have been some jubilation behind the goal mouth.
They all went up in the air, but the Eastern Suburbs players were very dejected. But there's still 1.5 minutes to go in this game.
So Cooter's tackled. We'll be going down to our ground stage for the presentation of the man of the match, the superstar, and the golden try, and the presentation of the cup and the lap of honour immediately after this telecast, and then the replay of the Shield final between Ashcroft and Parramatta Marist High, as Fulton now takes it to within 12 metres of the halfway mark, and the clock shows 20 seconds to go. It's with Beatson, floating pass over the head of Terry Murphy and into touch, and that is basically the ball game. The scrum will barely have time to pack.
I'd like to get a shot of Keith Holman there in the dugout.
He must be a jubilant little fellow. In fact, already he's been held aloft as Western Suburbs come up with the ball again. And the siren sounds, and they've won the cup. Rodonicus leaps into the arms of his players. And Holman leads the rush of the fans to greet them. What a magnificent victory. Western Suburbs have defeated Eastern Suburbs by 6 points to 5. And there's a shot of the crowd as they mill in now to welcome their heroes of Western Suburbs. And I think I'd be right in saying the heroes of Eastern Suburbs as well. He's scoring 1 try to 0. Probably that is some consolation to them. But will Russell Fairfax ever forget that failure to convert a truly Fairfax super try in the last few moments? Keith Barnes and John Gray will have their say on the match in just a few moments as we take you away from Leichhardt and bring you back for their summary in just a moment. And then after that, we'll have the ground stage announcements compared by John Brennan.